Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In today's video once again we're doing reverse stages. This time we're doing season 1, which I believe is probably going to be the hardest one because of the really obscure characters it uses. I've had a quick look through all the characters you need to use and it is quite an obscure bunch, but once again that's the reason why they made reverse stage, to sort of encourage you to upgrade these really obscure characters, and you get half decent rewards out of it as well. You get a nice selection of diamonds, I believe that being 3, 5 and 7, so 15 diamonds in total, and I believe 3 SSR pendants. I'm also pretty sure you get a diamond just for completing the stages alone, so as you see there's a lot of stages, so there's a lot of diamonds you can get. We're going in a clockwise one, and then we'll finish with Leona's Castle in the middle. I have everything timestamped in the description, so you guys can just go to whichever one you want to go to, and yeah, let's get on with it. Here we are on to the first one on Dalmally, who we are going to be running. Gorgias and Rune, I believe is his name. And then we are going to be running for links for Mael on Gorgias, and then we'll run Retamil on Rune as well. So for food, once again, I always recommend running food, especially if you can, especially if you're struggling with it. As you can see, we don't get penalised for food. It's just no dying. 8 turns, 40,000 CC. Once again, box CC and Constellation heavily impact CC, so once again, if your character's at level 100 SA6 like mine, and you're running the same food, and you're running, why is my CC much lower? Box CC and Constellation heavily impact this, which is sad, because this content is sort of wants to try and push new players to level up these crappy characters. First enemy is Melee. I believe this is just a default Melee. It's not. He's got a boss health bar. He's got a counter. Okay. Got anything funky about your counter? No, it is just blue melee counter. I wasn't sure if it'd be any sort of funky counter, because sometimes I like to do that. We can debuff, and then we'll just double weak point, maximize damage real quick. Go. Decent damage. Once again, I'll probably be running attack food for all of them, just sort of, it's make it a little bit easier. Because the whole premise of this guide is to show you what it is like. Stance removal, I believe Rune has a level 2 stance removal, hopefully. Is it stance removal? It's buff removal. Your counter is the normal melee counter. Okay, that was just really... I've not seen the counter in so long. I thought it was green melee counter. That actually made me a little bit scared. Just a tiny bit, though. His attack lowered by 30%, so... yeah, he's not been doing much damage at all. Go on, Rune. There we go. And then we finish the job there as well. First one's always going to be pretty easy. I think most of these are going to be pretty easy. It's just more or less showing the concept. I think the harder ones will be Seasons 2 and Seasons 3. There's one where you have to use like a Derriere, a Zell, and a Monspeed. I'm going to try not to use LRZell, just sort of make it a little bit more fairer for people who may not have LRZell. And now on to the second mission in Dalmally. On to our next one now, which has a little bit of the same team. Yeah, it's going to be the same thing basically every time. Links-wise, I don't know, I've given him my L. It doesn't really matter what links I give him, I'm going to be honest. I don't think they're really going to take that much damage. But if you are trying to beat it, like, make sure you have Retamil on the one that's got the lowest health, or the one, let's say you already do a run, you think, okay, this person's being targeted and they're struggling, next time give them Retamil. The whole goal is for Retamil is to keep the characters being targeted the most alive. Okay, I need to quickly go change something. Okay, we are back. I emptied out my inventory a little bit. And now we can continue. Because my inventory is always full. Even though I've got like 350 something space, it's always full. I don't know why. Always full. This is increased damage taken, that's lower attack. Is this AoE? That's single target. That's AoE. Does that have a secondary effect? Remove buffs and stances. How nice. We'll just do this first, so we'll increase the damage they take, we'll then lower their attack, and then we'll get some poison on them. Just a little bit of DOT. Also get a little bit better skills. I do know this guy at level 2 is attack seal, which might be handy depending on who's attacking, because I'm pretty sure all of them have debuff skills to some degree. We do have reflect as well, which isn't bad. It's only 10%, but it is reflect. This is just remove buffs at the moment, isn't it? I think I just try and go for the kill on melee. I just play for hand space, really. Decent damage. Poison's not really doing too much, I'm not going to lie, but it's just mainly there to deal slight damage. Not bad. I think they always take reflect damage because of this man in the middle, whose passive is enemies take 10% of the damage they deal as reflect damage, which is decent. It's actually a pretty decent passive. I do need to kill here though, so I'm probably gonna do this, so just so I also get his ult as well. Get Rune's ult. Okay, well, there we go. Kill Melly, which is good. Can we also kill Liz as well? Okay, Liz is dead, so that's just Diane. I would prefer if it killed Diane, because Diane's got 2 skills, but not too bad. I do also wish it displayed the amount of turns, because it doesn't display. It's such old content, it doesn't even display how many turns you've been through. Which is kind of irritating, I'm not going to lie, but it is what it is. That's corrosion. I don't need corrosion, I just need her to die. This should kill. There we go. Super easy. Also get another quite easy one. I don't do that much damage. These are the more... Season 1 is the more mild season when it comes to these ones. The later ones will be much, much, much harder. And now on to the final one in Dalmally. This one has a lot of characters in it. For links, I'm just going to be clicking like the first LR I see. Or like if they've got a special link that's an LR, I will click it. All my LRs are 6/6. Once again, you can pick links that will help your team. That'll be Red Tomio, Red Sariel, Mael, you know, all those sort of links. I'm just going to be picking the ones that are the most convenient for me. Jericho's, I'm just going to run Green Jericho because she's actually not bad. Weak point's actually quite decent. Run Attack Food, even though I know it's going to be quite overkill. The only person on this team that has a relic, I believe, is Jericho, and that's very recent. Her relic came out, so this should be quite easy. Bon, Diane, and Melly. Okay. They're just normal. Yeah, I think they're just okay. He's got some of them have quite irritating passes, so I definitely recommend checking passes before you play sometimes. Because sometimes they have quite irritating passives. We'll just do this for now. Jericho's relic should proc now as well. There we go. That didn't do much damage, but it's weak point, so it wasn't really going to do much damage. An attack seal, which is decent. It actually merged into it as well. Got a lot of hand space here. Yeah, these ones don't do much damage at all. Like even patiencing it's kind of crazy. I kind of want to kill Barn. Barn's got a stance, and I'm pretty sure it's a recovery stance, so it's going to be quite a pain to deal with later on. So we're going to try and kill him now before he starts healing. So attack sealing, which does decent damage. AoE, which doesn't do that much. Please kill. He's 1 health, really. Okay. He's literally 1 HP. Hopefully... Oh, okay. I forgot I attack sealed him. This is... What buff is this? Heals. Okay, so he's going to heal himself, which is not what I want. So, we'll do this. I'll try and kill Diane. If I crit with Diane... Oh, wrong one. So I'll try and crit Diane, and then I'll go... I feel like these 2 skills do the most. Didn't crit? Okay. You know, Jericho didn't crit in, like an SR Diane. Decent damage, though. She does heal quite a bit every turn. She's probably got like a diminished HP healing passive. Like either based on her max health or based on the amount of health she lost. Okay, yeah. 20% of the HP she's diminished, she heals. Okay, that's fine. That attack seals her, and we have double weak points, so we win. If that doesn't kill. There we go, and that's the first town done. It's not too hard. These ones are quite easy. There's just a lot of them, which is really the pain. And a lot of these characters are very niche, and you wouldn't really have them level up. That's normally the problem, is the fact that you have to level up these characters, and once again, it's a lot of demon materials. Because most of them are rare in SR, they're not really many SA coins, it's just the demon materials that can get quite pricey. But in the end, it is worth it if you are going for every diamond you can possibly get. And now on to the next town. Next one is Vanya. First one is Alioni and Twigo. This one also has 3 as well, mainly focused around the start of the game. So I guess I'm probably versing some form of melee, so it should be fine. Alioni's got a decent stance, they both have relics, which is quite good. Both of them have quite decent relics as well. Run attack food wherever we can. Of course, if it does say you cannot run food, then don't run food, but if it says you can use food, then you can use food. And I always recommend using food, because it always makes it a little bit easier. Oh, it's Melly and Liz. Okay. I thought it would have been just Melly. That's a... Oh, I can't target Melly either, because he's got that thing. Yeah, so sometimes they have funky stuff like this. Like, I can't target Melly for some reason. We'll do this. I'll stance up with Alioni, just because he takes 40% less damage when he's stanced. Decent damage. It's okay damage. This one they heal quite a bit. Taking no damage, which is good. Taking no damage still. Okay, do they have... Does she have Hostess Liz passive? She does have Hostess Liz passive. Okay, so probably the best way to do this would be to rush an ultimate. Just so that I can get... Because if I can kill Liz, that means I don't have to deal with the healing. I know, realistically, they're not healing the most. But when I'm using, you know, two characters that aren't the best, it's quite big. Patience Thing's quite nice. She does have removal of skills. Don't be my ultimate. Okay, luckily it did not remove my ultimate. Twigo, what's your level 3 for this? Is it remove stances? I don't think it is remove stances. We'll do this. This should hopefully kill Liz. Then we don't have to deal with the passive healing anymore. There you go. There goes Liz. Twigo's ult might be able to kill melee. I would like to think so. I think it's Sever. Even though his crit chance, I believe, was like 25% or something stupid. I think it's about 25%. We'll find out if he crits here anyway. Does have a counter up, but the counter won't work until the actual skill. Okay, it didn't crit. Oh my god. Okay, fair enough. That crit though. Okay, the skill with no 3 times crit chance crit. And then Ali only finishes the job, thank goodness. Once again, like these stages are going to be quite easy. And not too bad, because once again I have all the relics. If you don't have relics, maybe slightly harder. But it shouldn't be too hard. These stages were made, I think, even before relics were a big thing. I think maybe these characters had relics. Anyway, on to the next one. Next one requires us to use a Griamore and a Gilthunder. I'm probably going to pick... I'll pick this one, even though his passive's not going to work. I just feel like he's going to do better. And then Gil, I'll pick Blue Gil. Blue Gil isn't the worst. Once again, for links, I'm just going to pick whoever's got the highest CC for me. But for you, if you are struggling, once again, remember to pick links that will help you out, even if it is just a little bit. There we go. And now onto this stage. It should be quite easy. I don't see why it wouldn't be. I don't know who I'm fighting, though. Maybe a Melian... Okay, Melian Diane. Okay, I was not going to say Melian Diane. I was going to say Melian King, but that also works. We have a stance as well, which is quite nice. We've got Shock. Which I guess is just DOT. It's not really that good. It's like over 4 turns. Yeah, it's not going to be doing the most damage. I think I start on Deanne. We do have a nice defense boost because I'm running Blue Gil, who gives a 60% defense boost to blue characters, so we should be a little bit more tankier. We're still being damaged, but that is a weak point skill, and we are debuffed. Deanne's also damaging us as well. Fair enough. I think we land the kill here. A golden... Okay. That's a tiny bit scarier. We do use every card in the hand, which is fine. Land the kill. Start working on melee now, who isn't really that scary. It is a gold counter, but once again, this is SR melee counter, not like green counter melee. Whose counter can actually be quite scary when he's at lower health. Once again, we're still taking damage, but that's fine. As you can see, a lot of these characters have like passive like ult gauge removal, so like whenever they attack you they remove ult gauge, or they steal ult gauge even sometimes, like this one steals ult gauge. I don't know why they add this. I guess it's to make it a little bit harder, but a lot of them have it and it can be quite irritating, and sometimes that's the reason why it can be quite challenging, because they keep stealing your ult gauge. There we go, 151k from Gilthunder, pretty easy. I believe there's only one more left in Vanya, I believe, and yeah, let's get on with it. Here we are on to the final one. I'm probably going to sit with green. Do I sit with green Gil? Yeah, I'm going to sit with green Gil this time. Links wise, once again, I'm just going to pick whoever. Does not really matter. I don't think I'm really taking the most damage on this one anyway. Bottom, there you go, bottom 6-6. Don't think I need to run food. This is the final one in Vanya, and then we're on to the next one. I don't know what the next one is, but on to the next one. Melly, Liz, and Deanna. It shouldn't be too hard. We do actually have someone who now boosts attack, which is quite nice. We do like 20% level 1, 30% level 1. Okay, that's pretty decent. Gilthunder's ult's AoE, isn't it? It's not AoE. Okay, I want to push for an AoE ultimate. I feel like I can wipe with an AoE ultimate as long as I chip them down. I should have probably also checked if Liz has Hostess Liz passive, which is the healing passive, which I'm pretty sure that's Hostess Liz, because that's a lot of healing. It's able to damage Alioni, but that is fine. Holy Relic gives him a nice chunk of damage reduction. This may be the first one that some people may struggle with, once again depending on box CC, but first thing we need to get rid of is this Liz, because she has that really irritating passive where they heal. I can't do chip damage to them if they're healing all the time. There we go. We land the kill. Now they don't passively heal anymore, at least a lot. I can start dealing some quite nice damage to them. Once again, teams not taking that much damage. It's sort of, you wouldn't expect them to take the most. I'll start working on melee, because I feel like he's the one that's going to be the tankiest. And then I'll kill him next turn with Aleone's ult, and then hopefully the... Oh, okay, big damage there. Okay, I might kill Diane. And I'm pretty sure I have enough cards to kill melee anyway. Melee's not dealing any damage anymore, means he can't lifesteal. There we go. Should be fine. Pretty sure we land the kill here, so that should kill. That'll give me his ult, and that'll give me Twigo's ult as well. So this kills Diane. Yep, quite easily. And there we go, Gil Thunder gets to kill on melee. I believe that was the final one of this stage, or that is the final one of this area. So now on to the next area. Once again, these are going to get easy. These ones are going to be easy. Season 2, Season 3 is where it's going to start to get challenging, especially the ones where you have to use like the commandments, because some people don't have the commandments leveled up, especially the older commandments as well. Anyway, on to the next one. We are now in Post Town, which has like all the fairy stuff in it, so it's going to be like the Fairy King stuff. So it'll be Barn, Elaine, and all those sort of Gila, I think, as well. But yeah, so the first one's Elaine, so I'm going to be using Green Elaine, because this is my most leveled one. You could use like blue winged Elaine's fine. I'm pretty sure even normal green Elaine's going to be fine. This Elaine's probably quite overkill, solely because she has weak point, and I don't think these enemies are going to be debuff immune. I don't think Bond's going to be debuff immune. He's probably just going to nuke him. He's definitely going to get nuked. This is weak point and like a 20% attack relate stat boost, like 15%. What is it? 20% attack relate stat boost. He's debuffed. I got weak point. I can play 3 skills. Okay, I guess I get my ultimate then turn 1. There we go, we get the attack boost. I'm pretty sure it's going to die in 1 hit. Yeah. This lane always revive. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, this lane's pretty good. It's probably the best lane in the game by a mile. You do get extorted, which means he's got a lot of attack now. Not that much, but a significant amount more than what he initially had, probably. Let's see, how much attack did he actually steal? 2,000, okay, it's not that much. I thought it stole a lot more than 2,000. Anyway, he's dead now, so doesn't matter. Easy, easy, easy. Another very easy stage. And now, I thought these stages were going to be quite easy because I get to use characters like these. Now on to the next one. Our next one is Gila and Marmus, which I'm not really looking forward to using, because they're okay, but they're not the best. I wish I had the Halloween Gila leveled up. She's quite good. If you have the Halloween Gila, definitely use her, especially if she's leveled. Mine isn't leveled. Mine's like, she's level 100 because all my characters are level 100, but she's just Super Awakening 3 and not 6 like the rest of them. I go for a defense lower. That's AoE, isn't it? Like, all my skills are AoE. Okay, that's not the best. Yeah, okay. Damage we might struggle with damage just like at Gila's ult, which may be a little while. Can defense lower. This is one of the ones where you sort of probably want a DPS Gila. And he's removed my ult gauge. Do they all steal ult gauge or just melee? Okay, melee's the only one who steals ult gauge. Just assumes he merges gold skills. Okay, cool. We'll go for ultimates here. There we go. We'll lower defense. Okay, we should hopefully, if we can get this Gila off, we should be in the clear. Continuously going for Marmus, which is completely fine with me. He has got evade on the first hit. So I'm going to do this, this, and then this, which I believe cancels buffs and debuff skills. Well, doesn't allow them to be used. Okay, remove stance there. Oh, we actually kill. Okay. I've got a strong. So this Gila's SR, she's actually quite good. That was a surprising amount of damage, I'm not going to lie. And it's good. Now on to the next stage. I've never seen Marmus win screen before. That's a first. Okay. On to the next one then. And now on the final one for Post Town, it is a Gila and Gustav. I almost forgot his name for a second then, because he is so irrelevant in the story. But here we go. I think we can freeze them unless they've got debuff immunity or they remove a debuff every turn. Mr. Barn, you remove a debuff every turn? He's immune to freeze. Huh. Well, they caught me there. Okay, I need to damage this Barn every turn, so that skill is actually quite useful. Because I think Bond's got the skill where, like, if you don't attack him, he's going to lower your health or lower your attack by either 10% health or I believe 15% attack or something along the lines of that, which I don't really want to have to deal with. That's kind of a pain, but I can remove debuffs, so that should be fine. Exor's just always irritating to deal with. Okay, no, they have Ruin. Okay, that's even better. I can disable as well, because I've got Rotomilon, which is nice. We get Gustav's ult as well. Okay, I should probably save the level 2 and used it on Barn, but that should be fine. Damage is still good. I would have an ultimate now as well. Continuously going for her, which is fine. She's got Rotomil, so she heals quite nicely. And we kill, I'm pretty sure, because this is Spike, I believe. He's not going to crit, let's be real. I take back everything I said. He actually crit. Fair enough. Yeah, another really easy stage, and that is another location completed. Once again, a lot of these SR and like rare characters, you do sort of want them 6/6 because you are sort of quite heavily gambling on the fact that their ultimate is going to kill, because most of the time their damage isn't really there, and you're sort of relying on Red Tomil to keep them alive, or Blue Tomil, depending on which one you have, and then like your other character you're sort of hoping just doesn't die, because thankfully it doesn't say they have to be full health, it just says they can't die. Anyway, on to the next area. Now on to Ordan Village, which is I believe the smallest one of them all, which is quite nice. They're all this has only got 2 stages in it. You can't change the team around, so whoever's backline is stuck backline. You can't bring them to the front, which is fine. It doesn't really bother me much, but it is what it is. So we have to use a Blue Slayer. We have been given Blue Slayer for free many times. I'm pretty sure he's been pretty sure you're guaranteed to get him for free. Yeah, you do, from the story. You get him from the story for free. But yeah, I'm going to be using that Slayer because he's actually pretty decent. The ability to crit as long as they've got no ult gauge is pretty useful. And they have no ult gauge, so it's actually going to be pretty useful. I want to check for irritating passives. So this is just Blue Melee. If he survives an ultimate, he heals. That's my team. Bon. Survive an ultimate, he heals. So as an ultimate, he heals. Okay. I always look for the healing passives. They're the ones that I really focus on. The rest of them aren't really too important. Good damage. I'm pretty sure every time Slayer crits, because of his relic, he gets a lovely attack boost, which is kind of handy. There we go. Okay, we did get extorted, which is a little bit irritating, but damage isn't really that high, which is nice. Okay, Slater's had his debuffs removed, which is nice. Can we land this? What is this? Sever. What is this? I don't know what Simon's relic does. Decrease enemies' crit chance and crit damage by 100% for 2 turns when a critical strike occurs. Okay. It's not too bad then. What's this? Attack Seal. Well, that's useless against him. I think I then just double Slayer. Land the crit here. And then just double Slayer. Land the kill. And then I've only got 1 enemy still, which is King, which shouldn't be too hard. Don't think he's going to land the crit, because I don't think he has Green King passive. Green King passive is every time he gets 1 ult gauge, he gets 10% additional crit chance until he reaches max ult gauge, where I think he gets an additional 50% crit chance. No, he's just got this one instead. Yeah, they have toned him. Oh, no, he does have it. He just must have a horrendous crit chance. Oh no, I lowered it. That does make sense. I did lower it. We do this, and I'm pretty sure I'll let Slayer. I think Slayer kills. Oh, or not. There you go. I don't know his name, but he's killed. Arden, I want to say. I think that's his name. There we go, another windscreen I've not seen. Now on to the next stage. Here we go. Now on to the next stage, which is basically the exact same team. We've just got Hugo up front and Jillian in back. Jillian's not bad. She increases green characters' HP by 30%, which is only going to affect Hugo because he's the only green person on this team. But it should be fine. I believe we're versing Gotha. So I think the thing I'm scared of the most is probably an attack seal, if he's got an attack seal. Once again, I nearly have doubled the CC, so it shouldn't be too hard. All these characters are rare or SR, so once again, you should probably have them 6/6 before doing this, which is what I'd expect. They also have an additional character in the back, which my guess is probably a Deanne. What is this skill level 2? Remove stances and disable stances. Okay, I want to keep that because that can actually be useful. And then I'll just play that as well. I don't care who it hits. Match down the kill. Okay, it does kill. It's actually doing really good damage, so I might actually be able to carry on this team. Oh, it's King in back. Okay, fair enough. Patience in, because we're not debuffed, which is nice. Good, that is attack seal go with us, so that is a little scary. Let's actually stance disable here. And then we'll try and land the kill on Gotha, so he doesn't have a chance to attack seal. There we go. Land the kill on everyone here, I think. Yeah, there we go. Simon's a really good character, and I remember even when I was doing this, like ages and ages and like years ago, Simon was definitely a carry, and I recommend getting him SA6, level 100ing him, especially for this stage. It's really useful. If you want to, you can give him Roxy Link or Mael Link or even Sariel Link if you really need to maximize his damage. And that was it for Ordan Village, I think it was called. Now on to the next location. We are now on to Vaizel, and our first fight requires us to use a kind of a strange, so Taizu, Kane, a Hauser, and a Griamore. Links, I literally just clicked the first link I see, and I gotta go start my inventory again. And now we are back, loading in. Let's see how this goes. It should be quite easy. So the first one is King and Barn. Once again, the challenges are always the same. It's like, don't die, X amount of turns, out CC it basically. Any irritating passives, so it doesn't take counters. Okay, so I need to attack Barn every turn, basically. So as long as I have an AoE skill, I should be all good. I'm probably also going to start working on King. King isn't too scary. This Hauser's probably not the best one to pick. He does really want people that have Detonate. He's sort of a Detonate booster. I believe he came out around the time Pug Barn did, or sort of near the time. He's taking quite a big chunk of damage, to be honest, compared to the rest of them, but it should be fine still. Let me AoE here. And we'll just do this. Set some ignites up as well. So we deal damage to Barn, so we can't lower our attack. Decent damage there to King. We land the kill on King with Kane. Thank you, Kane. Quite clutch there. Got a ton of Kane skills, which I guess is useful because his damage... Okay. Because his damage is good, and they decide, yeah, I'm just going to do that instead. Which is fine. We actually get Kane's ultimate, which I believe is just another ignite skill, but it's still useful. His damage is still pretty decent. And he lands the kill. There we go. Easy. Super easy. Super easy. Kane's decent. He's used a little bit today for like one boss, the Crocshaw boss, if you don't have like the most broken, basically wailed out team. And now we're on to the next stage. This stage requires us to use a Jericho and a Gila, which is what we are using. Using the same Jericho and Gila we're using in the previous ones. Blue Gila and Green Jericho. Green Jericho does have a relic. Gila does not have a relic at the moment. Of course, that could quite easily change. They could release whatever relic they wanted to. But I'm pretty sure Jericho's just going to one-tap it. I'm not going to lie. Weak point Jericho is very powerful and probably the strongest Jericho in the game, not including the freeze one. I do believe they should give Jericho an LR. There you go, we one-tapped her. I do believe Jericho should get an LR at some point. Even if it is, or even just like a Four Knights facelift, which is sort of what she needs, is a Four Knights facelift. She does have a Four Knights variant, so does Gila. I do hope they both receive that character in the game, which would be quite useful, and a brand new breath of fresh air for them. Anyway, on to the next one. Here we are, on to the next one, which requires us to use a Hauser and a Marmus. So there's only one Marmus in the game, so we're using normal blue Marmus. And then, of course, I'm running Red Hauser now. I switched that up from blue, just because red seems probably a little bit more better. Also running attack food as well, just to make it a little bit easier. Also put Red Tamil on Marmus to sort of enable him to tank a little bit, because I'm not sure if they're going to go for him. I'm not sure who... Okay, it's Diane. It's solely Diane. Is there a secondary fight afterwards, or is it just Diane? It's just Diane. Okay, maybe I should have picked blue. Got a blue Hauser. Maybe that would have been a little bit better, but it still should be quite easy. We'll play both the pierce rate skills, solely because we don't really need Sever at the moment, because our damage is actually pretty good. No passive healing, which is quite nice. We have now Marmus's ult. Does she have ult gauge steel? She doesn't have ult gauge steel, which is quite good. She's disabled now as well, which is not really that useful, because pretty sure this is just normal green Diane, just put onto a red Diane. Yeah. It's the exact same character, just red Diane. So it's green Diane with red skills. Other way around, sorry. There we go, put Marmus's ult on, which is more than overkill, and then we kill. There we go. Super easy, not very hard. Once again, this is very old content, so this is what you would probably expect. Now to the next stage. This next stage requires us to use a Jericho, a Gila, and a Grimmel. Going to be running all of these lot. It doesn't really matter which one I'm running, as long as Green Jericho's on the team, it's going to be quite easy. It's one enemy again, so I do expect just to one-shot the boss. What I am going to do this time first is apply an Ignite, and what Ignites do is the enemies take 10% more damage, which would be kind of handy, and then we just let Jericho do a thing, which should be quite easy. Go, not bad. I don't think we kill the one-shot here. No, we do, but we trigger the revive. Okay, some of these enemies also have revives, which is a little bit irritating. At least at the time it was like stupid. It was like, why give them revives? I can actually cleanse. I can cleanse. Okay, he's going straight for ultimate as well, which is fine. I'm probably going to cleanse here, and then I will do this. Sort of purpose stance. Sort of, I don't want to take too much damage, and I know Grimmel can tank it quite well. I also have a debuff skill as well with Grimmel, which is nice. Okay, so it's not a I thought it was a stance. It's not a stance. Fair enough. As long as we can land the debuff, I should be fine. Why does this stance give him a damage increase? It's not needed. Not needed at all. There we go, we inflict debuff, and then we just let Jericho do a thing. She one-shots, there we go. This one's a little bit more dicey, so I recommend using like Red Tarmil on, once again, Gila or whoever you want who's taking the most damage. Just sort of guarantee that you can win. Once again, attack food or HP food will also help as well. Now on to the next stage. And now on to the final one, which wants us to use a Gila, a Jericho, not Hauser, Helbram, and a Marmus. So just sort of just be running like the first link I see. It's not really too important. I reckon this team's probably got it in the bag. Also run attack food as well, just sort of guarantee we win. Also it's the last attack food, so it gets rid of the stack, and one additional inventory space, so I don't have to clear out a little bit sooner. Here we go. This should be quite easy. This is also the final one for Vaizel as well, which is using Berserk Melee. Okay, this is Berserk Melee. It's got one on the back, probably King, if I had to guess. Who did I go for the kill on? I think I just... Oh, well, my ult gauge is sealed. That is not very good. This is AoE, so I do this, I'll do this, I'll do this. As long as I can land the kill on melee, I don't really care about the rest. He might have res, now I think about it. He doesn't have res. Okay, cool. Still can't stack ult. Gets Lizen back. Okay, fair enough. Not too bad. I am going to kill that Barn though, because I do believe that Barn may have Extort, because I feel like every Barn has Extort for some reason. Do you have Extort? He does have Extort, because he's using it first. We'll do this, we'll do this. I believe that kills, and then I'll just play that for now, just for a little bit additional damage. Go. He's dead as well, and then we'll get a little bit of damage there. It's actually pretty decent. Quite decent damage from Helbram there. I could have used Green Helbram, which would have given my team an attack boost, which may have been the better bet, but Red Helbram's also quite good as well. I think I just do this. Yeah, that was definitely the play. Can she kill? Nearly, and then Gila finishes the job. And that is it for the Vaizel stage. Also not seen Gila's windscreen ever. Kind of odd. It's really weird I'm seeing these windscreens for the first time. Anyway, now on to the next area. Now we are on to the West District area, which once again, it's okay, this one should be quite easy still. I don't feel like we're going to have any problems. Okay, I want to use the same character, I'll just use Lilia. And then I'll just do Margaret as well. Should be quite easy. Once again, all the same challenges, out CC it, have no one die, then clear with the next amount of turns. It's always going to be the same. Versing King, which isn't too bad, it's only one enemy. I don't think there should be any problems here. We are using blue, just because if it's one enemy, blue does a lot more damage. Hauser is what I'm talking about. Do it like this, so give us 30% attack boost. AoE, that does more damage, and then... Okay, we just one-turned him. Not bad. Honestly, not bad. The Hauser is also not properly leveled up, so I'll take it. Not bad. Now on to the next stage. That was much quicker than what I was expecting. The next one wants us to use Vivian, so I've decided to give Vivian Retamiel, and we're going to see how this goes. Should be quite easy. Once again, all we have to do is LCC, clear the next amount of turns, and then we've got okay, 2 enemies, which is a little bit harder. Can't also target Gotha, which is fine. This is freeze. Is this freeze or disable? I don't actually remember. It's ultimate seal. Okay. This is the irritating melee as well. Okay. He isn't countering first turns, so it's not too bad. There we go, not too bad damage, not the best though. Okay, we are pulling Ultimate Seal for days. Thankfully we have no attack skills. Okay, that's kind of irritating. Still should be fine though, we still should get Ultimate. They do delete skills, both of them, every time they attack, which is irritating. We do land the kill here, I'm pretty sure, because that is quite a high multiplier skill, 945%. And we do this as well. Yeah, there we go, quite easily. Well, if they're going to remove my skills every turn, I don't really have to worry. I just get a fresh hand every turn. Let's go for an upgrade. Gold skill? I didn't get rid of the gold skill. Okay, fair enough. What I can do then is ult seal, and then level 3. So this will seal his ult for 3 turns. And then this will do quite decent damage. Not too bad. As long as it doesn't delete my ultimate, it goes for upgrade, and then he was ult sealed, so yeah, there you go, he's not going to play anything else. This should kill. Easily. This one's more of the ones where you've got to sort of think a little bit, and once again relying on ultimate. She is an SR character, so not too bad. Another windscreen I probably haven't seen in years. On to the next stage, which I believe is the final stage of the West District. And now here we are on the final stage of the West District, where it requires us to use a Death Pierce. I don't know his name, but yeah, this man. And then Ordan as well, which should be quite easy. I don't see why it would be hard. I'm not running any food or anything. Let's see how this goes. It is a melee. I believe it is green melee. Just by his stance. It is green melee. Okay, it's going to be a pain to deal with. Okay, I'm just checking skills for anything that's going to be useful. This does more damage to stances. Okay. That does more damage to debuffs. That prevents ult gauge from filling. I think I do this. Decent damage. That does decent damage. That's runes. Okay, so removal of debuff. When he removes debuffs, he gets gauge back. That's fine. That is a-okay. I could just push an ultimate. Like, yeah. Okay, I'm pushing this man's ult. He's got a decent ult. It removes stances, so I might as well use it. Not bad. Also, I don't really want to attack into the counter. Unless I have to. Unless I really, really have to. So I'll do this. And then I'll double simultaneously with Death Pierce, which does some decent damage. I'm actually surprised they haven't given Death Pierce a relic yet. Death Pierce is a very old character, and I would assume they would have given him a relic by now. Once again, another easy fight. Kind of wish some of these characters had relics, even if they were really, really mediocre. Like, oh, they're passive, so Death Pierce now lowers enemy crit resistance by 45% instead of the initial 30%, you know, and maybe teammates get a 5% basic stat boost per applicable ally, or something really basic, but something that would be, you know, just slightly useful. That means when he comes back to being used, or content like this, when he's used, he just feels a little bit stronger. And now on to the final thing, which I believe is Luna's Castle. And now on to the final, but largest area, Leonis Castle, which has 6 stages. First one wants us to use a Hauser, Gilthunder, and a Hendrickson, which is fine. It's not too bad. I've just given them quite decent links. We are versing only a Diane, so it shouldn't be too bad. There's one at the bottom that wants me to use a Hendrickson, so I'm probably going to use Demon Hendrickson on that one. But anyway, we'll do what we did last time, so we'll buff up, do sort of the normal thing. I should have probably picked the Hendrickson that had X-Store. I'm pretty sure one has X-Store at level 1. Damage is quite... Diane's quite tanky. Diane's a little bit tankier than what I remember. This is just normal green Diane, I believe. She's not stealing ult gauge, is she? She's not stealing ult gauge. Should be fine then. This does more damage per ult gauge the enemy has, so we'll do this, and then we'll just merge for hand space. This is a debuff skill now, which my guess is probably going to be some sort of attack seal or some sort of seal. Yeah, it's disable buffs and debuffs, which isn't really too useful, but it is what it is. His Dian could do, once again, if you are a newer player, quite a bit of damage. So if you're having a character on your team take a lot of damage, give them, once again, red meal, and make sure your team, on which you're running HP food, just sort of guaranteed at least a little bit more tank. This should kill, so I'm playing debuff skill first, just sort of play debuff skill. There we go. Hauser kills, and if Hauser was not going to kill, I played an all gauge removal skill anyway, just in case she had some form of res. And now on to the next stage. Which requires us to use a Gil Thunder, a Jericho, a Helbram, and a Dreyfus. I'm going to be running this team. Pretty standard stuff. Green Gil is solely only here to buff Jericho. That is it. This team, it's got Jila on it. I'm not really too afraid of it. I think probably the scariest thing is going to be probably Hauser. Hauser's got AoE skills. Normal Hauser, and he steals Old Gauge. Okay, that's not good. Dian also steals Old Gauge, which is not good. I'll do this. This should hopefully kill. And as long as I kill the people that steal Old Gauge, I should be fine. Okay, that's a lot more bulky than what I thought. Almost landing the kill, which is still good. Almost landing the kill. It's actually fine. Next turn, I think I can just do that, and that should hopefully kill. Of course, if they don't damage me, they don't steal my Old Gauge, which is good. It means they're stealing 0 Old Gauge off Gil. Yeah, that's fine. I'm completely fine with this. They're stealing no Old Gauge from Gil. Okay. There's another one dead. I do have to kill Dian before I can attack Jila, because Jila's got the invisibility thing, where she can't be targeted. She also steals Old Gauge as well. And then I also play this as well. Hopefully she can kill. She lands the kill, and then maybe... Can we land Petrify? Can Petrify work? Petrify lands, so she remove it. She does not remove it, which is good. And it means this turn we can win. So, Jericho somehow doesn't kill. We can still remove Old Gauge, because Red Helbram's got Old Gauge removal as well, which is kind of handy. There we go. Another quite easy stage. At first I thought it was going to be irritating with the Old Gauge removal. But once again, Box CC did really come in clutch there. If you are struggling, they can remove your Old Gauge, but it's fine. You don't have to rely on ultimates. As long as you have Green Jericho, you should be quite in the clear. Now on to the next level. The next level requires us to use a Gil Thunder, Helbram, and Dreyfus. Once again, this should be quite easy. I'm just going to attack food just because I can, but it should be quite easy. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Of course, unless I'm versing someone who's got like Extort or something. Okay, it's the same team, which is a little odd, but fair enough. It's a little odd, but it's the same team. Oh, buff skills. Okay, Gotha's got a buff skill. Is that rank up, or is that like another buff skill? It is rank up. Okay, I was gonna say if it's rank up, I was gonna save my AOE skill, my Gil Thunder one, because it does 2 times damage to buffs. But because it doesn't, I'll just do that. Damage on the team's pretty decent. This is remove buffs, which is useful, I guess. Once again, they're not stealing my Old Gauge because I'm patience-ing it. But if you don't patience it, once again, they're not doing too much damage anyway. I believe these are just the sort of carbon copies of the characters in the game. They're just very downscaled, so we should be okay. There we go. We might actually be able to wipe this turn. There we go. And there we go. Not too bad. However, actually does a surprising amount of damage. I never realized how much damage he really does. Of course, his relic does give him 25% basic stat boost, but still, it's really good damage. And now on to the next stage. This next stage requires us to use a Helbram and a Gustav. There's only one Gustav in the game. And I'm also going to be using Red Helbram still, because Red Helbram's actually pretty good. I realize how good he truly was. Okay, we are versing a few enemies, a lot more than what I thought I was versing. I'll check passives first. King has... This is just Petrify King. Heroes damage dealt to fairy enemies. Okay, not good. Okay, so they all do increased damage to Helbram, so I probably want to start killing them ASAP. I'll kill King. He's got a cleansing skill and a petrify skill, so I'm gonna try and kill him first. Gustav, maybe? Almost, not bad. He healed a lot back, like a lot. Okay, I wasn't expecting him to heal that much back. Gustav's fine. Gustav's quite tanky. Okay, even the damage to Helbram isn't that much. Bear in mind it's a 30% boost. This should kill, and we also get Hellbomb result in the process, which is nice. He's going to try and use a Petrify this turn, but I will not let him use a Petrify. Okay, that nearly killed. There we go, we land the kill. Now we can Petrify someone, if they can be Petrified. Can't be Petrified, okay. Petrify immunity, that's fine. That's A-okay. Probably means they've also got freeze immunity as well, which is fine. They don't steal ult gauge, so we don't have to worry about them stealing ult gauge. Which is good. They also don't delete cards. It's just only some of them that really just delete cards and steal ult gauge. I don't know why. Normally they're like the easier ones anyway. There we go. And the kill. And then Hellbomb clutches up here. Super easy. Not too hard. Once again, if your team is struggling, maybe Hellbomb's taking too much damage, Red Tarmail is always an option. HP Food's also always an option as well. Now on to the next stage. And now on to the second last stage, which requires us to use a Gil Thunder, a Vivian, and a Hendrickson. I'm using Demon Hendrickson, of course, because he's the best Hendrickson in the game at the moment, and just generally quite irritating. He's got debuff spam, which is really handy. I want to check out this melee, because this melee might be one of the funky ones that's got like a debuff counter or something, like increased damage when he's got a debuff. No, I don't see anything irritating, so we should be fine. And then we'll just spam these two here. He's applying a counter immediately, which is not the best, but it is fine. Nice debuff on everyone. More debuffs as well. DOT should do a nice chunk here as well. Might not attack melee. I still want melee to die to the debuffs. I don't really have to attack him because he's got a counter up. They'll go really into Hendrickson as well, which is fine. DOT killed everyone but Arthur. The reason why Green Hendrickson is so good is you got all those debuffs, which are really, really handy. And we land the kills here. Easy. Not too hard at all. Once again, the only SSR character on this team is Hendrickson, but he has been out 4 years and he is on the SSR tickets, so do not worry. Now on to the final stage of Season 1 of Reverse Stage. And now on to the final stage of Season 1 of Reverse Stages. It requires you to use a Hendrickson and a Dreyfus. Once again, we're sticking with Demon Hendrickson because he is kind of useful. I don't realize how useful he really was. His debuffs are really powerful. Once again, we are versing 3 enemies. It's Liz. So probably Hostess Liz, if I had to guess on any of them. She's a res, and she is Hostess Liz. Okay. It's not the best start, but it's fine. We still should be able to do decent damage to everyone else. Okay, we kill everyone else. And we trigger res on Liz, which is good. Liz does heal, melee drops down. Still should be fine, though. They have no skills to play. This might actually wipe again. And if not, we finish with the Hendrickson skill. Yeah, this might kill. If not, DOT will definitely do its thing. There we go, Hendrickson clutches up. Once again, a really easy stage. Hendrickson's AoEs are really powerful. I've also given him Mael Link as well to guarantee, well, to do an additional 20% damage dealt, which is nice. And yeah, that's it. That's all of the stages for all of Season 1 of Reverse Stage. Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.